telling trash story. I showed up for swimming and ended up a bodybuilding champion. I was standing in the middle of a blindingly bright auditorium, wearing nothing but a pair of swimming trunks, flip-flops, and the kind of expression reserved for someone who's just realized they walked into a live volcano. Around me, men whose muscles defied the laws of physics were flexing under hot stage lights. Veins twisted across biceps like mountain trails, skin glistened as if polished with molten bronze, and each competitor looked like a living statue crafted from pure arrogance and protein powder. Cameras flashed incessantly. The crowd cheered, and somewhere in the chaos, a voice thundered over the loudspeaker, mangling my name beyond recognition. My throat went dry, my mind raced. Apparently, I was supposed to compete. Apparently, my friends had pulled the cruelest prank imaginable, and apparently my life had just detonated into absurdity. It had all begun innocuously enough with a text from Alex. "Yo bro, swim today?" I glanced at my phone while finishing a sandwich. Chris chimed in immediately. "Yeah, pool's free at 6. Bring your shorts." I, trusting the universe and these idiots, replied, "Bet, I'm in." At the time, swimming sounded ordinary, normal, safe, predictable. Ha, how laughable that idea was now. I packed my trusty blue trunks, a towel, and goggles. I even bought a tiny bottle of travel shampoo because I was determined not to smell like chlorine afterward. If only I had known the depth of the abyss I was about to tumble into. On the drive over, subtle runnings flickered past my perception like red lights I ignored. Alex texted, "Don't eat too much before we get there. You'll regret it." Okay, maybe a swimming thing. Fine. Then Chris added, "No need for shampoo, bro. They got stuff there." Shampoo at a pool? Strange. Then Alex, almost casually, said, "Be ready around 5:30. We'll take you backstage." Backstage? At a pool? Surely it was just locker room jargon. Surely. When we arrived, my stomach plummeted into my shoes. A massive gleaming convention center loomed before me, bustling with human statues, their bodies polished bronze, veins snaking across every surface like cable wiring. Above the entrance, a giant banner screamed, "Annual State Bodybuilding Championship, tonight only." My voice broke. "Guys, this isn't a pool." Chris patted my shoulder like I was overreacting. "Technically, there's probably a water fountain inside." Chris grinned, dragging me forward. "Trust us, you'll love it." My protest vanished into the ocean of protein scent, coconut oil, and nervous sweat. I realized that every single sign I'd ignored was a trap, and I had fallen in head first. Inside, the smell hit me like a break. Tanning oil, bleach, protein shakes, and desperation. Competitors applied layers of bronzer using sponges the size of dinner plates. One man did push-ups while another casually sat on his back. A woman in rhinestone heels bicep-curled weights while scrolling through her phone. I froze, realizing I was a neon sign reading outsider in a sea of Greek statues. A clipboard-wielding volunteer pointed at me. "Name?" I stammered. Daniel?" She scanned her list. "Late. Go to tanning, then wardrobe. Chop chop." My chest tightened. Wardrobe? Tanning? No, there must be a mistake. But Chris and Alex blocked the exit, grinning like sadistic angels. "Guys, this isn't funny," Alex interrupted. "Bro, it is." Minutes later, a man in latex gloves smeared what smelled like burnt marshmallows all over my chest. My skin darkened 3 shades instantly. "Perfect," he said. Then came the trunks. I held up my normal blue swim trunks, hoping to reason. He laughed so hard he nearly fell. Cute, but no. He handed me a sparkling strip of fabric so microscopic it might as well have been an ironic sticker. "You expect me to wear this?" I squeaked. "On stage? Yes." My friends outside the curtain were recording, crying with laughter. At this point, my panic hit critical mass. I tried to protest. "I think there's been a mistake." The volunteer smiled politely. "Don't worry, everyone pukes their first time." Someone shoved a dumbbell into my hands. "Pump before you go out there." I lifted it once, my elbow screamed. "Perfect form," a stranger shouted. Another competitor whispered, "First time?" I nodded. Don't lock knees. Judges hate that. Judges? I had no idea what I was supposed to do. Smile? Flex? Pray for mercy? Then, inevitably, I was pushed towards the stage. The announcer butchered my name into a string of nonsense syllables, and the crowd clapped politely. Spotlights seared my retina. I shuffled forward, legs shaking like jello. Flex, someone screamed. I lifted my arms stiffly. The crowd laughed. Front double biceps, barked a judge. I twisted, grimaced, and accidentally yelped. The audience laughed harder. My friends were rolling in the front row, phones shaking from their own hysteria. Somewhere deep inside, I decided if they wanted absurdity, I'd give them absurdity. I invented moves on the spot, a panicked T-Rex pose, a lost tourist squint, a wave to my mom flourish. The crowd went berserk. Judges blinked in confusion, cameras flashed like strobe lights. Someone yelled, "Encore!" I attempted the splits, nearly tearing my hamstrings, and the audience lost their minds. I staggered off stage, drenched in sweat and oil, lungs burning, dignity obliterated, but strangely exhilarated. Then came the awards. Third place went to a man whose abs could slice bread. Second went to a woman whose deltoids could lift a small car. First place, the announcer drew out the pause. By unanimous audience vote, Daniel something I can't pronounce. My jaw hit the floor. What? Confetti exploded, lights flashed, and the crowd roared. My friends chanted, "Champion, champion," somewhere in the front. Somehow I had won the state bodybuilding championship by being the literal worst contestant imaginable. The next day, my phone erupted. Memes, TikToks, headlines. Clown steals the show, accidental bodybuilder wins gold. Flexecution, man redefines strength. Protein companies slid into my DMs. Reality TV producers called. My friends admitted they never expected this. "We just thought it would be funny if you had to sit in the crowd," Alex confessed. But the prank had turned me into a viral phenomenon. I shrugged whenever someone asked me how I got into bodybuilding. I was supposed to swim. Over the following week, the absurdity escalated. Interviews, late-night TV segments. My unique approach to flexing was lauded as avant-garde performance art. Sponsors sent ridiculously small trunks in spray tan kits as promotional gifts. Social media mocked me mercilessly, yet adored me in equal measure. My friends continued to torment me, sending texts like, "Ready for the international stage," and "Don't forget your glitter tape." Each message made me question reality. Swimming as a normal pastime seemed like a distant, peaceful memory. Even training was surreal. Other bodybuilders taught me poses I didn't understand. Now the lat flare. Try the vacuum pose. Smile at the judge's soul. I had no clue what half of this meant. But my accidental genius, if you could call it that, had captured the crowd's imagination. Every misstep became a highlight reel. Every awkward twix earned me fan clubs online. Somehow my panic had become performance art. Weeks later, my life had fully flipped. Sponsorship deals came in for everything from protein bars to glittery workout shorts. I appeared in photo shoots pretending to flex with my miniature trunk strapped on. A YouTube channel documented my journey as the man who went to swim and conquered Bronze Olympus. Meanwhile, my friends laughed hysterically every time they recounted how they tricked me. They'd whisper, "Remember when you thought you were just swimming?" I had grown, knowing the prank had surpassed all logic. Eventually, I embraced the chaos. I even started giving advice to new rookie performers on stage, pretending I knew what I was doing. Inside, I still panicked every time the spotlights hit my pale, now tan skin. But each day, absurdity became my comfort zone. I had gone in expecting a casual swim and emerged as a viral champion of ridiculousness. And yet, somewhere, the real truth lingered. If you're gonna fall into a trap, you might as well make it spectacular. And so, whenever someone asks me, "How'd you get into bodybuilding?" I smile, shrug, and give the only honest answer, "I was supposed to swim."